This is the Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
Do you play FanDuel and feel like you aren't creating consistent money-making lineups? Go over to the DFS Doctors on Twitter at the DFS Doctors and DM them with promo code Detroit Sports to get a free trial for their analytically formulated 70% lifetime profit rate NFL and NBA lineups. The whole purpose of playing daily fantasy sports is to get out there and compete and give yourself a chance to win. So go over to the DFS Doctors. Let them help you. They have analysts on staff that look at the best optimal lineup that you can put out there to win money. So why not take advantage? At the DFS Doctors, promo code Detroit Sports.
CBD is a game changer sweeping the nation. This hemp extract is the natural way to elevate your mood, eliminate aches and pains, reduce anxiety, and keep you sleeping all night long. It can even cut your workout recovery time in half. Get in the game today with 20% off all orders of CBD and lavender products from Lavender Lane, a lavender farm located right here in Milan, Michigan. Just go to lavenderlanemi.com today and enter coupon code Detroit for 20% off your entire order. Guys, look, these amazing products are infused with calming lavender to maximize their effectiveness, meaning your CBD items only take minutes to take effect, which is way quicker than those pills you were about to swallow. On top of it, they are perfect for men and women. Lavender Lane has lab-tested CBD creams, tinctures, and roll-ons that are perfect for any situation, even if you're on the go. Put your health back in your hands by heading over to lavenderlanemi.com and entering coupon code Detroit for 20% off your entire order of CBD and lavender products. What do you have to lose? Your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. So if you need lavender gifts for your loved ones or just looking for the natural way to ease your discomfort with CBD, go to lavenderlanemi.com and use coupon code Detroit to unlock these miraculous benefits of CBD and lavender. That's lavenderlanemi.com. And remember, use coupon code DETROIT for 20% off your CBD and lavender products from Michigan's own Lavender Lane.
Welcome in on a Monday to the Monday Mashup. Detroit Sports Podcast, Shea and Kevin, as always. And it is truly a mashup this week, with the NBA heading towards All-Star season and no NBA players really giving much of a shit about
coaches,
the games that
trainers, GM, no one. Like the trade deadline is over, so GMs are all chilling.
We have a lot of other stuff to talk about, like, well, Michigan State for one.
I will coach the football team. I will do it.
I know. Everybody has asked, am I going to be the offensive coordinator? And you know what? If I must. But just a bunch of stuff. These stupid videos of celebrities playing basketball keep coming out.
Okay, like...
There's all sorts of things that keep happening.
Even
the Oscars.
Even when the NBA players do the videos, they don't show the misses. And I know NBA players very rarely miss when no one's guarding them. They're pretty damn good at that. But like...
That's how you get a Ben Simmons workout video
exactly.
Every summer.
And there's just no chance in hell that game went on and Drake and Quavo and Bieber never missed a shot and just not. By the way, somebody put a hand up. One person.
Yeah. Oh, no. Like, nobody was playing
not
defense.
An attempt to close out on a single three. Not even a hand.
Quavo's like an actual athlete. He was a quarterback in high school. He was scouted. He could have played in the NFL. He was an actual athlete. I believe that he was out there busting people's ass on a basketball court.
But I do believe that he missed some shots, too.
I've seen Drake look like shit on basketball courts.
In a layup line.
Boy, did they make him look glossy on that video.
Airballed a three in a layup line.
He clearly doesn't know how to run, and you can see that even in the bad videos.
He's like 5'7", by the way.
Oh yeah, he's short.
Literally 5'7".
It's hilarious when you see the Drake, Justin Bieber, and they're like, look at these guys balling at Summit Gym like they're Carmelo Anthony.
Like, none. I would not like any of them. Maybe Quavo, but not the rest of them. And I don't want Quavo if he's not playing defense.
The weird thing is, why aren't they playing in the celebrity game? Is there no interest in the celebrity game anymore?
I know that Quavo and Bieber both have before. Quavo, I'm pretty sure, is one MVP of it. When it was in LA, he balled out, I'm pretty sure. Because Offset, was it just Offset? Or was it both of them? I think Offset and Takeoff were both there watching him. But he balled out when it was in LA. Bieber is like, he's got a weird, he shoots like Kevin Martin, and he's left-handed, and he's short. And the mustache kind of makes it a no-go for me. Plus, he's Justin Bieber, so there's no way he's good at sports.
Do you remember when Kevin Hart was in it.
Yeah, he won MVP a couple times.
Yeah. This is, I don't know if you've seen the Celebrity Game this year. It is the worst lineup I have ever seen.
I think I saw it once, but I only.
Oh, Quavo is playing this year.
The only thing I remember on it is I saw Alex Moffat's name, and I was like, seriously? They couldn't find a single Chicago comedian better than Alex Moffat?
Like Chance the Rapper and Common, which, okay.
Chance is not good at basketball.
Chance is also not good at hip-hop lately. So
I liked The Big Day. I thought that was a pretty good album. You didn't like that album?
The one about his wife and his bike and...
No, The Big Day. There was a whole... He did it this summer. He dropped a whole album. It was good.
No, I didn't like it.
I kind of
That's the one I didn't like that album. Common's over the hill, but...
But he probably, of those guys, he might be the best basketball player. And it's in Chicago. You have to have Common and Chance.
Ronnie 2K. I don't need Ronnie 2K.
I've never actually seen him in real life, ever. You download his rosters all the time.
I don't... Who is Lil Rel Howery?
Lil Ray Howery. Dude
Who
from
is that?
Get Out, the fat guy.
Oh, okay. See, this is... I need to put a face to these names. So if you know, like...
Alex Moffat is the dude from SNL who is like the generic white. He plays Eric Trump.
Is Spice Adams a YouTuber?
He played football at Illinois. He played football in the NFL. Maybe was it Illinois? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Illinois. He's the fat guy who wears the goggles and the really tough, and he jumps around and he throws it off the backboard and then jogs back like he just hit a 3.
Kane Brown is a country music singer.
Never heard of him.
He follows me on Twitter, but that was one of the not because I'm good at tweeting or anything, but that was one of the like, hey, if I follow 15 million people, I might be big as an artist, and it worked for him.
Yeah, there you go. He's playing in the Celebrity Game.
Who's Jose Andres?
Jose Andres.
Who's Famous Los?
Famous Los is the Instagram guy who does the. Oh no, that's beat up. Famous Los is like known in hoop circles. Is one of those like Instagram hooper guys. He's played in it before, and he's actually I'm pretty sure he played somewhere. He was in it last year with Jay Will and Ray Allen, and he was decent.
The other cool thing is...
Who did you use? Andres? What is his name?
Jose Andres.
Is he like this is very stereotypical, and if he's not, I'm sorry, but maybe he's a baseball player from Chicago?
That is pretty stereotypical.
That was my first thought. Is I don't know baseball
chef,
players.
It looks like.
Okay, well then yes, I am sorry.
Spanish chef.
Good.
He does not look like he's going to be any good at basketball at all. Also, like
there's definitely a baseball player from Chicago somewhere named Jose Andres.
No, that's
by the way.
probably true. Asia Wilson and Chelsea Gray playing in this game. I just hope they bust everyone's ass.
Asia Wilson last year absolutely fucking killed it.
I need him to bust everyone's ass.
She's a bad motherfucker.
Be like Ronnie 2K. Let me play WNBA teams.
Who are the guys? Like last year was Jay Will and Ray Allen. Is there
Darius Miles and Quentin Richardson?
Oh fuck yeah, hell yeah. I am so there for that. Chicago's finest, baby.
Yep.
Whitney Young,
That's
shout out.
Group.
Let's go. DePaul and Whitney Young, Quentin Richardson. What's the name of their podcast?
Knuckleheads.
Knuckleheads.
Right?
Shout out to Knuckleheads. I love that.
That's a good lineup.
Q Rich and D Miles. All for it. That's great.
All right, so the Oscars were last night. So you didn't watch that many movies.
Plowed the driveway while the Oscars were going on.
That's a good idea. Going. Yeah, I haven't shoveled yet. I don't know.
It's not that bad out there.
Okay, good. Then I'm not going to.
You got the small driveway. It's easy.
Yeah, that's true.
But you got the sidewalk, too. Sidewalk.
I did watch the Oscars because I didn't watch enough NBA this weekend. I just kind of like took a weekend off.
Right.
Because the players are also taking a weekend off.
I watched Dame, but that was the only full game I watched.
I watched the Celtics games, and which very impressive how they just keep winning despite everybody on their team getting like dead. But the Oscars... Boy, every year they find a new way to fuck up. Like
no host.
Well, that's been because Kevin Hart sent a bad tweet.
Well, that was like 2 years ago.
I know, but they just won't get a host anymore. Because as soon as you hire a host, they do something bad, and then the Oscars already have enough bad press. Try to give away a jet ski
for the shortest speech or something like that.
Yeah. Was that Ricky Gervais?
Jimmy Kimmel.
That's right. Yeah, that sounds like a Ricky Gervais.
Worst rated Oscars of all time. Jimmy Kimmel.
Hey, listen, that's not...
I like Jimmy Kimmel when he's funny.
They did... So Steve Martin and Chris Rock came out and did a short monologue after Janelle Monáe did a song.
You don't see Steve Martin enough anymore.
It was pretty decent as a monologue, too, but there were a couple tacky, like, something's missing from Best Director category. What's that? Vaginas? Like, all right, we probably could have come up with a cleverer way to do that.
Chris Rock's got to promote a movie right now, though. He can't be too controversial.
That's true. And there was also there was one that kind of bothered me where Chris Rock was like, "I love L.A., but I hated driving in here and seeing all the homeless." And then Steve Martin cut him off, like the traditional Hollywood trope of, oh, well, you can't start talking about the homeless, and we can't start getting grimy about, and they never went back to it though. They just like, okay, that's it.
That was the joke.
Just kind of tacky jokes.
Okay.
Anyway, well, it already had the problem because they didn't nominate a woman for Best Director, and Greta Gerwig absolutely deserved it for Little Women. And it's like 2 years ago was Oscars So White because they don't nominate.
2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago,
Yeah.
5 years ago, like every year.
For 91 years, it's been Oscars So White because they don't nominate minority actors. And again, that was kind of a problem. This year it was less talked about, but I think they threw like the Cynthia Erivo nod for Harriet was like, let's make sure we get one. Yeah. And then I thought it was odd, like Eminem came out in 2020. Nobody needs that.
He did just drop an album.
But it wasn't good.
Just randomly dropped. There was one good song on it. I haven't really listened to the rest of it, but what's the name of that one he did with Juice WRLD? Whatever that one is, Godzilla. That's what it's called. Good song.
Even that one though, it's like Eminem just says the most possible words in the shortest amount of time.
It is pretty spectacular what he can do with that. Like, some of it is like, holy shit, what are you saying? Why did you need to do this? But there's other ones where I'm like, yeah, literally no one else can rap like this.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
There is that aspect of it.
Just the other thing is the surprise albums are hilarious. Like he's Beyonce or something.
Lil Wayne did it too. Like, that's what's happening now. These old guys don't know how to navigate Spotify and just drop a single. So they're like, well, here's an old album.
I think also just album promotion has changed because now it's all in streaming.
Promotion.
You don't. I don't need to do a tour to sell my CD.
You're not going to play on Jimmy Fallon. Like,
I'll just drop on iTunes randomly one weekend and then do 5 podcasts. And that's going to be the promotion.
Hey, go do Joe Budden, go do whatever, and then there's my promotion.
But I thought it was odd that you already... So I get that Lose Yourself won the award for Best Original Song.
17. It's not even a significant number. Like 70. If it were 20-year anniversary and he came back to do it, it's like a...
Right.
Okay.
It was just kind of random, and it didn't move the show forward, and it didn't pertain to a presentation in the moment, and it just was there randomly.
I feel like the crowd liked it. They seemed to be.
They gave him a standing ovation, but the shots of like Billie Eilish was clearly not having it.
Her brother looked like he was into it.
Yeah, he did. Idina Menzel was not into it.
I don't know which one she is.
She's
bad, but I don't know.
She's from Wicked. She was in Uncut Gems, which
which one was she in Uncut? Was she the wife
in Uncut Gems? Yeah.
Okay.
Criminal that movie wasn't nominated for anything. But
I actually saw that movie.
I will get to that because
that's my beef with the Oscars in general. Is like, I don't see the movies that get nominated, and I see all these other movies. I'm like, oh, that was a good movie, and it doesn't get fucking nominated for anything.
I see them all. I make I make it a thing to see them all, and Uncut Gems should have fucking been nominated. Uncut Gems
in a few categories at the very minimum, right?
No, Best Picture even. It's one of the best movies I've seen all year.
I wanted KG getting a nom. Like, he doesn't have to win.
He wasn't going to beat Brad Pitt, but it would have been nice if he got nominated.
He's not going to win, but like, he was very good, and he was authentic. I didn't feel like any of his lines were scripted.
Oh, he was fantastic.
Yeah, he was great.
Let's just talk about Uncut Gems for a minute, rather than the issue of bringing in a white hip hop artist in 2020 in an award show that's historically disenfranchised
just
minorities.
Because I am a stan till the day I die. He literally created the word stan. Like, he's a white hip hop artist. He still might be the best ever. Like,
that's entirely true.
Aside from all the terrible things about him, like, just because he's a white dude, he allowed white people into hip hop. He paved the way for white people in hip hop.
It's a little odd when you bring out a guy who's blatantly misogynistic and homophobic.
He doesn't have to be there.
Like, you don't need this performance. Right. It's not going to do wonders for your score with people who historically don't like your show.
Not just blatantly those things, like unapologetically those things.
Yeah, it's like
he doesn't really give a fuck.
Yeah, he's like, I said rape and made a joke out of it in a line, and I don't fucking care. Which is fine. That's Eminem.
Yeah, that's
just understand what that means when the Academy Awards put him on stage.
Right.
No, Uncut Gems, I thought it was... And this is my biggest issue with the Oscars, because I did like most of the movies that were nominated. Mm-hmm. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was fantastic. I thought that should have won Best Picture. Parasite was also fantastic, and it did win Best Picture. Jojo Rabbit I thought was awful, because... And I'm sure that's an unpopular opinion. I go on Twitter. People fucking love Jojo Rabbit.
I did not see it.
So Jojo Rabbit's about a 10-year-old kid in Nazi Germany in Berlin in 1945, and his imaginary friend is Hitler. And he spends the entire movie hating Jews. And there's a Jew girl hiding in his apartment, in his house, and his mom is sheltering her.
Plot twist.
So he meets her, starts like talking to her and trying to learn about Jews. and she's messing with him. We have horns. We like have tail. And
It's like Borat.
yeah, so he's drawing pictures. Like it is kind of, it's funny and through the eyes of a 10-year-old. The problem is, it's a movie about Nazis. Why are you trying to make it so fucking cute? And why are you showing Nazis not doing anything bad? Every Nazi in that movie was just a nice person and an idiot. And it's like, at some point, understand that you can't just trade in malice for ignorance. I get it, but you can't just portray Nazis as goofy little idiots and think that that's the way that that's going to fly. It didn't work for me.
It's one of those, like,
at some point, show a Nazi doing something bad.
I feel like it would go over my head. I feel like I watched that movie and be like, wait a minute, this isn't right. And then they'd be like, no, there's a deeper meaning. I'd be like, all right, well, I don't know what it is, so I'm out. Like,
there were parts where I laughed. I thought it was a dark comedy. There were parts where I laughed, but for the most part, I just thought it was like kind of gross. And I don't like to police what people like, but I think if you liked that movie, it probably says a little bit about your inability to reckon with the actual meaning of social justice.
that's like my thing with the Oscars, though, is policing what people like. It's movies aren't sport. And it's just like we don't need an ESPYs because there's not an award show for sports. You don't need that. Just like
Your award show for sports is the Super Bowl. If
your
you win
award
the
show
game,
for sports is the game.
Yeah.
Like, you decide who wins by a score. How am I supposed to? How are you going to tell me that this movie's better than this movie? There's no.
Correct.
It's not a competition.
Correct.
Like, this is not sports. There's no scoreboard.
That's what Chris Rock said when he hosted, and he's like, "It's so silly. You people get so worked up about this. Best actress, best actor. It doesn't fucking matter.
You're not
There's
better than
no
that
difference.
actor. Like, there's literally. It's just interpretation. There's no scoreboard to tell me Brad Pitt was a better actor in this than this guy was in this. Like,
Joker also got nominated for a bunch. I hated Joker.
Exactly. Like, it was. I don't. Why are you telling me this? Not you, but like, why is the Academy telling me this movie is better than this movie? How the fuck do you know what I thought was better than the other one?
Well, the other thing with the Academy is I think they're biased, and I think last night I learned not that Parasite didn't deserve the award, and not that Bong Joon-ho didn't deserve the award, but I think that the Academy, all 6,000 members, would rather.
There are 6,000 people who just. Jesus Christ, that's way too many.
Yep, and I think all 6,000 of these people would rather dive into a dry pool than award Quentin Tarantino Best Director or Best Picture. He has said himself this is the penultimate film of his career. His 9th film is his second to last. That's it. And they won't award him. They would rather crawl naked on a field of cracked glass than they would award Quentin Tarantino with Best Director or Best Picture. They hate this man.
I'm just like.
I want to get back to Uncut Gems in a minute, but you're floored that
I'm
it's 6,000.
still reeling on 6,000. Like, I really, like, do you know how many people vote for Finals MVP? It's like 8.
Yeah.
6,000?
Yeah.
How the hell are you going to get, like,
They don't all vote for every award. The only award they all vote for is Best Picture.
Okay. At least that's a little better.
Directors vote for director. Actors vote for actors.
It's very political, right? Like, don't you have to schmooze and go to brunches and parties and stuff?
Well, no, that's more the Golden Globes than the Oscars. But
like, that's bonkers.
it's still political, and it's still
6,000.
So, like, the thing with Uncut Gems was they did their limited release.
It's like an electoral college for the Oscars.
Seriously. So the Safdies did a limited release so that it would get qualified for awards, but their wide release was the weekend of New Year's, and it wasn't like a prestige film like 1917. This was small studio, A24,
right?
Small directors and the Safdie brothers. Adam Sandler
Their
on
speech at that
a limited
award show
budget.
was awesome.
Yeah, bunch of unknown actors. Like, this wasn't some prestige flick with a gimmick one shot, which wasn't a gimmick in 1917. It was fantastic, but still, like, that's going to drive people to see it. I don't think all 6,000 members saw Uncut Gems. I would venture 2,000 of them saw Uncut Gems, and that's why it doesn't get nominated, which is bullshit. Yeah. If you're voting for movies, see the fucking movies.
Exactly. That's why you can't have 6,000 people. There's no way to monitor whether 6,000 people
I can tell you, I know for a fact these people don't. The woman hosting the red carpet, God forgive her, I'm blanking on her name. She goes, talking to Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, I loved The Irishman. I loved the story of loyalty. What fucking loyalty?
They killed Jimmy Hoffa?
Every 15 minutes, a new clip comes up about how somebody was shot in the back.
I haven't seen The Irishman, but I know the story.
What story of loyalty?
Yeah.
He has to kill his best friend.
I don't know. Who was doing the red They get random people to do the red carpet now.
Yeah,
it's like Kristen Cavallari was doing the red carpet I saw at one point. I don't know what network was doing it for, but she was like...
I'm watching it and I'm going, if you're there for the Oscars red carpet and you have to ask people about the movies they made, watch the fucking movies.
Imagine doing a sideline for a game and not knowing any of the players.
Right, like Erin Andrews doing an NFL sideline report, and she thinks she's at a hockey game. And that's like Uncut Gems not winning sound mixing. I'm sorry. When you walk into the gem store, the first scene with KG walking into the gem store, and everybody is on a multi-track, so everybody had a microphone right at their mouth, and you hear at the same level everybody's words all at once, and it just ramps up anxiety. That's incredible sound mixing. It used sound to get an emotion out of me.
There's a point in Uncut Gems where I remember being like, damn, what the fuck's about to happen? Like, this is super tense. He was taking his fucking garbage cans out.
Yes.
Like, he was taking his garbage cans out. I'm like, what the fuck is about to happen?
The way it
he just took his garbage cans
sound.
out, went back in the house. Nothing happened. I was just like, damn, shit's about to go down. And then, like, it just had me the whole time. Like, the whole time, I'm like, he's literally walking his garbage cans out, and I feel like somebody's about to come out of nowhere and kill him.
I'm still mad it didn't get any recognition because it's one of the most visceral reactions I've had to a movie. I didn't realize how much it affected me until I walked out of the theater after it ended, and I walked to my car, and I was like, everything's so fucking bright. I'm shaking. I'm like, why am I so fucking anxious? And I realized 2 hours of watching that movie ramped my anxiety to, I don't even know if I'd ever been that anxious.
And like, I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but there's no way you saw the ending coming.
Oh no,
I damn sure didn't see the ending
coming. Came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and
like,
it's the perfect way to end that movie. But
wanted it as a degenerate. I wanted him to get the money, but yeah, it's a good way to end the movie. It wouldn't have been a great way to end real life.
I'd look back and I go, Adam Sandler should have been nominated. The movie should have been nominated. It's one of the best movies
KG should
of
have
the
been
year.
nominated.
KG, yeah, honestly, I want KG in more movies.
I don't know if he could do, like, range wise exactly what he did, but he can play that role. Like, he can play Kevin Garnett damn well. I'm not sure he could, like, be convincing as the jeweler.
Well, that's probably true. All right, so enough of the Oscars. We've been putting this off, but Michigan State University.
He put it off for a while. Why can't we?
Well, he did put it off for some time. I'm just going to start with this. If you are one of those Michigan State fans saying that we are being too mean to Mark D'Antonio,
nope.
Fuck off.
Yep. Don't want to hear it. Go somewhere else.
I hope that you understand. Like, I will say it. I have to preface everything I say about him with it so that you understand I do know what he did and I appreciate it. He is the greatest coach in the history of Michigan State football. That does not change the fact that he tore down what he built and that he kicked us on the way out by retiring in fucking February.
Both things are true, and if you don't acknowledge both things, you're like, if you're just out here being like, I don't care that he did it because he did all these things for us, well, then don't be pissed off when you're 1-10 next year.
Yeah,
don't be mad. Because you're not mad now. Don't be mad then, because you're gonna realize very quickly what he did when they start spring ball without a head coach.
Well, he created a program that, he came into a program that didn't know success, and he created a program that knew nothing but success.
Sure, and I'm thankful for that. And now I'm very, very angry that they're not going to have success for a very long time, and it is directly his fault.
Yeah. And the biggest thing is, like, when you create that level of success, people start to just expect it. People, like, 8-4.
Absolutely.
8-4 isn't going to fly at Michigan State anymore.
No. And here's the thing. When you get to a situation as bleak as Michigan State, the goal is leave it better than you found it, right?
Which he said he did, but he didn't. Don't believe a word he said.
And he absolutely got it way better than where he found it. And then now he leaves it worse than where it was. Like, both things are true. He got it. It was shit. He made it amazing. And now he's leaving it worse than shit.
I think it's like, people are going to go, well, it can't be worse than it was. Look at all the things he won. He left us with banners. Bro, it can be worse than it was. John L. Smith didn't even fuck us leaving in February without a head coaching successor. We're going to punt a year with Mike Tressel because Luke Fickell just said no to your ass. You have the head coach of Colorado, who I didn't even know was an option, tweeting, hey, you're real cute, but I'm just not looking for a relationship right now. Like, you're getting roasted by Luke Fickell. You get on a private jet to Cincinnati to interview him on a Sunday afternoon. You get off in a quarter sipping jeans, and then the next morning you hear, oh, he's going to stay at Cincinnati. I hope you hired whatever sad sack coordinator you stopped in Penn State to grab, because that, like, otherwise you are just going to have Tressel. You're going to punt a year away, and we're going to be back at this next year after a 1-11 football season, going, who's the head coach going to be? Nobody's going to want to be the head coach of a 1-11 program that's punted all of its goodwill.
And I said to you, like, I don't want the next guy who's going to be here for 20 years. You can get that guy after this guy. Like, 13 years, yes, it was very nice, but you see what happens at the end of 13 years. The last 2 haven't been good, and there's some in there that were 3 and 9 and not so great either. Let's not pretend 13 years has been 13 years of nothing but success. I will say this. The idea of hiring Luke Fickell terrified me, because it was like, oh, we're going to get an Ohio State coordinator who became the head coach at Cincinnati and had moderate success. Well, that guy just bailed on us. Like, we had him for 13 years. Now we're going to get the same guy again. I didn't want that. I wanted an offensive guy really bad because, and not that he was an offensive guy when he was here, but I want the next Nick Saban. I want the dude who's going to fucking leave. I don't care that he leaves. That's what you are right now. As presently constructed, you are not a place that is going to get a dude who's like, I can be here for 15 years. You're going to get a dude who's like, this place is in utter free fall. And if I stop the free fall and start an ascend again, then when whoever X amount SEC school decides I'm moving on from Lane Kiffin or whoever, they'll hire me. Like, we missed out. If this were 4 months ago, I'd be like, go get Lane Kiffin. But you're not getting anybody good right now. There is nobody out there. Like, you want Willie Taggart? Take him. You want Charlie Strong? Go for it. Those are the only guys you can get. That's it. Like, or else you're with, like you said, Mike Tressel or whoever from Penn State that I've never heard of.
Brent Pry,
or
the DC.
Yeah, or whoever. Like, who can you get right now? These random people or failed coaches.
I mean, or
Butch Jones, Jim McElwain.
Like, we're at the real Hail Mary too, where you have to get on a phone and talk to him. But Pat Shurmur and Robert Saleh, you have to talk to both.
They're Michigan natives. Like, you got to call anybody in the NFL that has ties that might want to come home.
And Saleh, and I'm gonna say it, it's something that nobody's gonna be comfortable hearing. But again, it shouldn't be comfortable, and it should be brought up. If it's tough for black coaches to get a job in the NFL, how hard do you think it's going to be for a Muslim coach?
Very.
And if Saleh knows that, I could see him leaving to go get a college head coaching job and bump his resume a little more as a head coach. Because it's tough for assistants that of minorities. They don't get treated right in this sport.
Oh, no, look at Eric Bieniemy. I mean, it's...
Yeah, nobody will even interview Eric Bieniemy,
Yeah.
partly because I think you'd rather check the box by interviewing Hugh Jackson because you know you won't hire him.
Right. Don't interview the dude who's been the offensive coordinator for like the most exciting offense in the history of the NFL the last 2 years. Don't interview that guy or anything. The thing about Shurmur and Saleh for me both is Shurmur just took an OC job with a young quarterback and a head coach who doesn't know dick about offense, so he's going to do whatever he wants on offense, like Vic Fangio. Tell him what to do. I don't think he'd leave Denver for that. Saleh, when you lose the Super Bowl and you have a lot coming back, it almost seems like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I want to run this back.
But the other thing is, why would, like, if you're the DC of the 49ers and you have rookie Nick Bosa, why would you leave?
I mean, not just Nick Bosa. That whole line is like, they can get pressure with 4 on anybody.
Why would you leave?
Like,
but that's the real Hail Mary that Michigan State has left, is go find the guy who was GA here once upon a time and see if we can bring him back.
I mean, you want a funny one that, like, I don't know how it could
funny,
ever come. No, funny. Oh my God, this is terrifying. Like, if there were some way in hell, and you hear whispers about this and you think it could never happen, but it is the Jets, it could happen. Like, if Adam Gase somehow gets fired soon, and that's the guy, he'd have to get fired tomorrow. But, there's a chance, right? It's Adam Gase. Who knows? He could get fired.
The only thing I definitely want is not Mike Tressel. Because I think if you have Mike Tressel, you're just going to be force-fed Rocky Lombardi. And that's, I think, if
transfer, is he still here?
Yeah,
I have to watch a middle schooler play quarterback.
It's the D'Antonio shit where, like, D'Antonio came in after John L. Smith, and he was like, "Listen, we are going to put some of the new blood in this program on the field instead of just the John L. Smith seniors because they earned it." But then D'Antonio fell victim to, "Oh, well, my senior quarterback is Andrew Maxwell. Let's lose a year on Andrew Maxwell's back."
A year and a game.
Yeah.
A year and a chance at playing in the national championship game.
He fell victim to the same thing John L. would do. And that's, you get new blood, and if it's Mike Tressel, I think you're getting Rocky Lombardi. But even if you bring in Brent Pry or some unknown, maybe they're like, well, I'd rather look at Peyton Ramsey, or I'd rather look at Theo Day than just roll the dice with Rocky Lombardi because he's a senior.
Former Catholic Central Shamrock Theo Day.
That's why I'd rather just get someone new, and that way there is no beholdenness to the seniors on this program.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't done shit for you, those seniors.
Correct.
Have really done a whole lot.
Rocky Lombardi came in and looked serviceable against Michigan when they were playing prevent defense in East Lansing, and since then hasn't done a fucking thing.
That Nebraska game that Rocky Lombardi played quarterback at me is the game that I stopped loving Michigan State football.
It's
like,
been
this
tough.
is it for me. I'm not doing this. If this is who the quarterback and this is what you're doing, I'm out.
Well, I mean, I've said if they just say, hey, Mike Tressel, we're going to give you a 4-year deal to be the head coach, I will not watch Michigan State football. I will not watch.
I'm not, like, it depends on who they hire now. Like, I said it when they didn't fire D'Antonio. I said, you got to get to like 6-1 to get me back. Now it's like, you better make a good hire. I'm not coming back.
No, yeah, and I'm dead serious. If they just say, here's 5 years from Mike Tressel, I'll just watch SEC for 5 years.
How has he earned it? How is Mike Tressel, like...
I'll go be a fan of Texas A&M or something.
The thing is
I'll
like,
find a way. Fuck that.
If you do that, if you hire a head coach off your staff, I understand the want to do that, to continue like the continuity, everything about it. Like, okay, fine, it's the safe hire, blah, blah, blah. Is there any, and I mean any other Power 5 school that would even remotely consider interviewing Mike Tressel for their head coaching position, let alone hiring him?
He's not a good coach.
No.
He's not a good recruiter. He doesn't do anything well that a college football coach needs to do. He doesn't blitz. He just he refuses to bring pressure, and he doesn't recruit good players.
And like the people they're
I don't need you.
Yeah, the people
you know what I want? If you're going to get a former head coach or somebody that was on D'Antonio's staff, go throw $4 million at Harlan Barnett.
I don't want defense. Like I
get it, but like, at least he can recruit.
Right. At least he can recruit. That was the thing with Narduzzi too. Is like, oh, we go get dudes. We'll bring dudes back. And every player that I've ever known that's played for Narduzzi or been around Narduzzi fucking loves that guy. I'm sure he's a player's coach, and I know he can coach defense. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like his division of the ACC hasn't been complete shit, and he has failed to really compete in it at all since he's been there. So I'm not sure that's a really great head coaching hire. Is he great at Pitt? He's from that area of the country. He seems to be able to recruit okay at Pitt. That division's weak as hell, and he can't win it. I'm not sure I want Narduzzi back.
Right.
Like,
well, and he's not
as
coming
a defensive
back.
coordinator, sure, but he's not coming back anyways. Like, I want the dude who fucks with Harbaugh. I want the dude who's young, who's offensive and offensive. Like, I want him to be a dude who is out here like, no, we're going to score 60 points a game, and I don't care if we give up 48.
That's like... Joe Brady wasn't a name brand before he became Joe Brady. He is now. Go find that guy.
Yeah. Like, literally. I mean...
I'm not afraid to be bad if you're trying to be good.
Did you call Graham Harrell? Have you called Graham Harrell, babe? Like, just call him. Yeah. I'm not saying he can recruit this area of the country. I have no idea if he can, but the dude can draw up plays. Like,
Boy, you know, maybe he can't recruit this area of the country, but if he can get me a quarterback from California, I'm not going to cry.
Honestly, Lewerke's from Arizona. He's the most talented quarterback they've had in a long time, and his career at Michigan State is shit. It will not shock me one bit if the Patriots steal Lewerke in the 4th round and make him the backup to whoever they get to replace Brady and or Brady. Like, he's a good player. He's got arm talent. He can move around. He can do some
4th round
things.
is a bit generous, but
6th round, whatever it is. Like,
7th maybe.
Sure. Whatever, like late round, somebody's going to steal him and be like, damn, look at his tape. Like, is he move? He's got good feet. He's got a live arm. He can do some things. Maybe if we get him in the right system, he can be a backup in the NFL.
I do maintain that if he had a competent play caller and a competent offensive line, he's a good player.
When they had decent weapons around him, they did things where they were, 10-3? Like, whatever, like, he had a decent time as a young guy and never progressed because who's going to help him progress?
But that, like, you can go hire unknowns, and I'll be fine with it. And I'll live with knowing we might be bad, but we might be really good. I won't be fine with, let's just keep Tressel because he's been here.
Yeah.
I won't be. I know what that's going to be. It's going to be shit recruits. It's going to be
Bobby
schemes.
Williams.
Yep. It's going to be John L. Smith. It's going to be...
But that's what they did with Bobby Williams. They're like, oh, well, he's a Saban guy. We'll just make him. Like, no, dude, he's not a head coach. Like... He's not. And we want to know how many head coaching jobs Bobby
Tressel's
Williams
not
has
even
had
a
since.
DC.
None. Like, yeah. Like, nobody... Don't hire a dude if nobody else is trying to hire him.
The other thing is, as much as I want Michigan State to go find unknown guys, Bill Beekman's not going to do it.
No!
Bill Beekman's an idiot.
I have never had less confidence in an athletic director at any position.
I have zero reason to believe that he has any clue what he's doing as far as interviewing a football head coach.
None whatsoever. How did he get his job?
And
the interim that made him the head.
Honestly, if it's true that Luke Fickell was interested before the interview, I would not be shocked if Bill Beekman is the reason he's not interested anymore.
Not even remotely shocked. Like the dude, did you see anyone else get off that plane with him? Did he go by himself? He didn't bring any boosters with him. He didn't bring anybody with him to be like, hey, this is the guy who can help you out. This is the guy who will take care of your family. This is the guy who will do, like, he just went by himself in some jeans and interviewed a guy for a head coach. Like, the hell is that?
Bill Beekman doesn't know sports. That's what happens when, listen, it sucks because that's what happens when your entire administration gets embroiled in a horrible scandal and you're stuck with Tom Izzo and Mark D'Antonio hand-picking their boss. Mm-hmm. You end up with a puppet.
Yeah, a literal puppet. Like, I think D'Antonio's hiring this next coach as much as Beekman is. And why else would they go right after literally Mark D'Antonio Jr. is their first interview?
That's the line in the sand, too, because if it comes out that Luke Fickell didn't take the Michigan State job because it wasn't enough of a pay raise, that's your line in the sand. That's where you just know now, if you're a Michigan State athletics fan, they will never care enough to pay for a good program. And when Izzo retires, that's it for Michigan State athletics. You are just going to be Northwestern.
God, that'd suck. Like, you're going to be Iowa. Like, you're a state school. You're not like Northwestern can hide behind the fact it's like, oh, we're a private school. We don't have this funding and even though they have a ridiculous endowment. But like, they can hide behind though. Not everybody can get into our school and we can't win because of this or this. And like, no, you're a state school at Michigan State. Yep. You have ultimate resources.
Yep.
Like, you should be able to hire a really good football coach.
You're a Big Ten
an exciting
school.
Football. You have an 80,000 seat stadium. Like, you have a fan base that wants to win. Like, it's not like, oh, if we go to a bowl game, we're not selling that bowl game. Like, no, dude, you sold out the Rose Bowl. You sold out the Cotton Bowl twice. Like, your fan base will mobilize and be hungry if you give them something to feed on.
They spent so much money to put that beautiful foyer on Spartan Stadium, and they spent so much money to bring up the Breslin. There's a gorgeous media room. You
ever been in that locker room at the North End Zone locker room?
Yeah.
They use the locker room, 5 times a year?
Yeah.
It's the nicest thing. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's better than their locker room at the facility.
It's absurd.
Like,
and Breslin's beautiful. The Breslin locker room's unreal.
It used to be good, and then they upgraded it ridiculously.
And you've put all the money into the facilities. You will not put. You have some of the best facilities in the country. Mm-hmm. If we're being real about it, put money into your staff.
Yeah, seriously. Like, it's the biggest thing probably for Luke Fickell. This is complete speculation, but I got to imagine like, oh, it's not enough of a pay raise. Plus, you won't give me enough money for assistants. I'm moving all of my assistants, and you're not giving me enough money for them. Like, you got to spend if you want to have a good program. You got to spend.
Yeah. All right. That's enough. Just thrashing Michigan State for mismanaging.
Don't hire Brett Bielema. Don't do it.
And yeah, please God. And it really just comes down to Mark D'Antonio kicked us on the way out.
Yeah.
In just the worst way that he could have possibly left.
Really did.
We have a little bit to touch on with the NBA. Damian Lillard has been unbelievable. He wants to make himself an MVP candidate.
He is in my eyes. Would Luka keep getting hurt?
I mean, if they make the playoffs, where does he finish in MVP voting? Because as much as Giannis has been amazing,
I mean, he's ran away with it. It's not. James Harden's averaging 36 points, and he doesn't have a chance in hell to win MVP. That's ridiculous. Like, think of that sentence I just said. James Harden's averaging 36 points, and he doesn't have a chance in hell to win MVP.
He's also had a horrifying past few weeks.
Month. Yeah. January was rough, bad. But he's still averaging 36 points. Dame in an MVP sense.
It's tough for a point guard unless you're Steph Curry.
I do think he is playing his way into first-team All-NBA. Like, if Luka keeps missing games, I think he's playing his way into first-team All-NBA.
Well, I think, I'm at a point where I think he's just on it, honestly.
In front of Harden, averaging 36 points a game? Because he's not going to jump Luka if the Mavericks are the 4 seed.
Does Luka qualifies as a guard?
Yeah.
I might put him in front of Harden.
You'd want to, but then you'll look at Harden's numbers and be like, okay. He's going to win a scoring title. He's averaging 36 points. Like, it's ridiculous to say, but like, that dude is like, it's not pure, right? If it's a pure scorer doing this, like if Durant or Dame is averaging 36, by the way, over his last 8, Dame is averaging like 40, but if one of those guys who is just a pure scorer and gets his buckets in a pure, beautiful way and it's fun to watch, like a Dame or a KD, then it's, oh my God, 36 a night, and look at how he's doing this. Harden's 36 a night is so choppy and so annoying to watch, and it comes in spurts sometimes that it's like you get thrown from thinking he's amazing.
And it's so inefficient.
Exactly.
1 out of every 3 nights. Like Dame's efficiency is unreal.
Can we talk about the Rockets? Like, we'll finish on Dame, but I want to get to the Rockets at a point because they're literally starting 5 dudes who are 6'5".
Yeah,
and
I
under,
don't know.
like crazy. But Dame's prospects for first team All NBA fall entirely on Luka Doncic's ankles to me, because Luka has been a supernova this year.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And like everybody's gonna want to vote for him for first team. The thing is, Dame could pass Harden just because of voter fatigue. Like, voters could look at it and be like, am I really gonna put this dude who does it like this on first team again? And then there will be certain voters who are like, yeah, he averages 36, I have to. But there will be other voters who are like, you know what? No. Like, fuck you. Dame does more. Dame does everything. Like, I'm going to put him on there. And I do think he will finish in front of Harden for MVP voting. I do think he has passed Harden for MVP voting.
I mean,
but I still think he's probably 4th.
If you pass Harden for MVP voting, I feel like you're first team All NBA then. Just put him ahead of Harden.
I know, but it'll look... The 36 is so hard to look past. If Dame keeps going, he's going to average over 30 for the season. So then at that point, sure.
I do have an All-NBA team question. Can Paul George make an All-NBA team if he only plays 45 games?
No. You can't. If you don't play 65 or more, you're not on the All-NBA team. If you miss 20 games, you're out.
I agree.
Like, that's it.
So what does third team look like right now? Because I honestly think you've got...
This is where it gets tough for me, because I wish so badly you could just take the top 15 guys.
Oh, yeah.
But when you have to do positions, it's like, I have to make Rudy Gobert All-NBA again. Really?
Well, because Embiid's first team, Jokic's second team, right?
Embiid's got to play some more games. Like, really, he's got to play some more games or he's going to fall. Like, Jokic has been coming on. I know he had a slow start because he was out of shape as all hell.
Jokic learned, too. He had a little bit of the Draymond thing where, like, if you get yourself in shape before the season, by the time playoffs come around, you're gassed. Yeah. Instead, he was like, all right, I'm going to take the first 2 months easy and then play my way into shape, and then by the time the playoffs hit, you're peaking.
For sure. And there's a little bit of difference in the way those two guys play. Draymond moves a lot more.
Yeah.
But Jokic came in like Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Like, he did not look like he should be on any type of basketball court playing. But he has played himself into shape. The Nuggets are still really good, and he is, in his own way, a star. I hesitate to call him a supernova like everybody else because he does it in such a crazy way, but he is amazing, and I think he's getting to the point with Embiid missing games and Philly sputtering the way they are that Jokic might just jump on first team. Embiid's second team. He's like, I'm not knocking Joel Embiid as like a non-All-NBA player all of a sudden, but Jokic might pass him.
And then Gobert would be third team.
Yeah, which
I want to know, like,
so annoying. Like,
third team guards is tough for me because Simmons, I think, but I don't, like, if it's up to me, I wouldn't put him there, but I think he will be there.
Who's second team? Like, it's better this year because you lose Steph and Kyrie. It makes it easier.
Yeah.
Like, those two dudes you're penciling on all NBA teams every year.
Second team's probably whoever doesn't make first team out of Harden and Dame.
Right.
And
Kemba. Like,
is Kemba second team or third team?
Who's in front of him at second team? Like, it's not Russ. It's damn sure not Russ. Though I've bashed Russell Westbrook for very long, and deservingly so. I've bashed Russell Westbrook. He's been better over the last month and a half.
Yeah, he's been pretty
good. Not having a center on the floor that completely opens up the rim makes him a lot better. Like, there's nobody there to block his layups.
He's probably going to end up working his way into third team.
There's a chance. There's a real good chance.
Chris Paul maybe second team?
I'd rather have him on third team.
So if you do Kemba and then do Chris Paul
in front of Ben
Russ.
Simmons, how's that?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Chris Paul and Russ on third team. Give forwards to if Paul George is out, Jason Tatum's in.
And whoever between Dame and Harden on second team, and then there's your guards.
I think if Paul George is out, Jason Tatum's in for third team.
Paul George is out. It's even when he's played, like, he's been good.
He hasn't been Paul George.
No, he's clearly dealing with things and clearly not trying to push it until it's time to push it.
Is Kawhi second team or third team, or is he?
Oh, he's definitely second team. I think there's a debate about first team. It's like, you can't
it's
do
just
it
going to be
because
tough
LeBron
because
and
LeBron.
Giannis.
Yeah.
But Kawhi's been spectacular.
Yeah.
Like, really, really fucking. I know the Clippers have been whatever, but, like, Kawhi's been amazing.
It's just, for me, it's the part where the taking off on back-to-backs. And
Yeah, but that's what he's missing. He's not doing the, like, I'm missing 5 games in a row or anything. Like, he's not playing back-to-backs, but that accounts for, what, like 16, 17 games a year?
Yeah, he's still only at 40 games played so far. But
Yeah, but he did that last year and made second team.
True.
He is really fucking good. Like, we're doing that thing, which is, like, it's funny because we talked about him more when he was in Toronto than when he was on the Clippers, and that's how much we don't care about the Clippers.
Well, you look at they're the 2 seed in the West, and every single night there are empty seats in the lower bowl. It like nobody
no one
gives a shit.
All like no one cares. It's like it's crazy to think of how like look at what they have.
They're going to win the finals.
They just made a trade for Marcus Morris that if the Lakers had made that trade, we've been talking about it for weeks, but no one cares. Like, no one cares.
The Lakers cannot beat that team when they play head-to-head.
No.
Unless LeBron...
They just got better. Marcus Morris is going to help them so much.
Unless LeBron turns back the clock and guards Kawhi in a 7-game series at an all-NBA defensive level, they can't beat that team.
No, they can't. Like, they can't do it. And the thing is like, now they're not getting Darren Collison. Now they don't have a backup point guard. Like, no, they're screwed. They didn't get better at the deadline, and the Clippers got a lot better, and they were already 2-0 head-to-head.
They're at a point where Dion Waiters is their target now. I mean, that's... Seriously, I saw that tweet this morning.
Oh, I know, I saw it. It's like...
Please sign Dion Waiters, please.
We saw that movie. They ran him out of Cleveland so fast because LeBron was like, no, I'm not dealing with this kid. Get me J.R. Smith. Get me another 2-guard now.
The Lakers have looked incredible at times this season. LeBron going full tilt has been fantastic. They are starting to look a little rough around the edges. The start to the year was beautiful, but the past few weeks, they've started to look a little rough around the edges.
They're playing a tougher schedule. First and foremost, we knew that going in. Everybody said, look at the beginning of their schedule. They have to take advantage of it. And they did. Like, I mean, you talked about Frank Vogel, and not you, everybody just talked about Frank Vogel as a Coach of the Year candidate early. He was great. Everything was fine. LeBron was an MVP candidate again. AD was being AD. Then AD gets a couple nicks and scrapes and bumps and bruises, and which is literal every year for Anthony Davis. He's always got those things. When you're that big and you play his style, that's going to happen. But they didn't get better at the deadline, which is a trademark of LeBron James teams every year. Like, with the exception of last year when they were shit. But,
right.
Like, even then, they tried. Like, they made a move for Reggie Bullock. They made a move for Mike Muscala. They weren't good moves, but they tried.
And even then, their deadline acquisition really was LeBron healing his groin.
Exactly. And, like, they didn't do anything. That's so weird for a LeBron James team to sit there and not do anything. Like, and I know you're thinking, well, we'll get Darren Collison, but it doesn't sound like Darren Collison wants to play basketball. And if you have to convince a guy to come out of retirement to play next to LeBron James, man, I don't know that he's going to be all there. It doesn't seem like he's all there. So to me, they couldn't sit pat at the deadline, and they sat pat. Like, you got to get better. Everybody else tried to get better. Like, Milwaukee didn't, but what's the move Milwaukee could have made?
Right, and that's...
You had moves. Kyle Kuzma's good, but you could have got a better
Milwaukee made
player.
their move when they signed Marvin Williams.
Fair, absolutely. Like, absolutely. I guess...
And that might be the move that just makes them unbeatable.
And I guess the Lakers can look there, too, and be like, maybe we'll get somebody on the buyout. But so far on the wave, you're getting Dion Waiters. And that's not Marvin Williams. Not that Marvin Williams is amazing, but Marvin Williams is a 6'9" guy who can shoot threes. And another 6'9" guy who can shoot threes in Milwaukee? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like... you had to get better. You didn't get better. The Clippers got better. I think the Rockets got better, which is crazy because they traded away their only center.
See, I don't know if they do something on the buyout market, I'll think they'd have gotten better. But I don't know that they got better in a way that, like, I think they could lose to OKC in a playoff series.
The Rockets?
I think
it's possible. I think that's definitely possible.
They have nothing for Steven Adams on the boards.
You're right, but they didn't have anything for AD or Dwight, and they beat the Lakers in LA the other night. Like,
yeah, but again, like I said, the Lakers have started to look rough around the edges.
But I don't think they lost that game. Like, if you watch that game, it's like they just... If you go all out for an offensive rebound against Houston and you don't get it, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You're absolutely... Because they are so fast, and now it's Russ and 4 shooters.
I think they're... Like, Houston might be fun to watch, which is weird to say, in a weird way. Like, not like I'm going to really enjoy watching them, but more like... they're doing things that nobody else is going to be doing. It's
they,
just going to be spacing the floor and shooting threes.
Right. When they get out and run, they are fun to watch.
Yeah.
When they're in the half court and it's Harden going one-on-one, it's the
boring.
same old thing, just minus a center this time. Like, but when they get out and go, like, and you have Gordon to the corner and Covington to the corner and Tucker running to the rim and Russ being Russ, the one-man fast break he's always been.
Is going to be the underrated one too, because that's really going to help their defense in the half court.
Best rim protector.
It's going to be so like if you had Capella too, then you're really cooking with gas. But
the thing is, what Capella did on offense for them is make Russ less effective because there's somebody at the rim. Now it's literally 5 guys around the arc. If Russ gets by his first guy and you help, Russ loves to drive and kick.
Yeah.
Like, of all the bad things I've said about Russ, he's phenomenal in the drive and kick.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you help...
He's a great passer, whatever you think of him.
And he's still, like, Russell Westbrook for a dude who is 6'3", whatever.
And now he's at a point where he's taking 0 threes a game, and that's the best part.
The dude who is 6'3", there are 2 people in the NBA who from 25 feet away put pressure on the rim as if they were 2 feet away. Giannis and Russ, because when they go, you can't stop them. Like, if they want to get to the rim, they're going to get to the rim if there's nobody there. Like, if there's not a center back there to help, they're getting to the rim, those 2 guys. So Russell Westbrook puts pressure on the rim the second he steps over half court. And once there's pressure on the rim and no rim protector because you don't have a center out there and you have Gordon in a corner and Covington in a corner, and I know Harden is Harden, but it's not like he can't shoot 40% on catch and shoot threes. He can. Like, they're dangerous in that regard. And you have Mike D'Antoni.
What teams do you think are like capable of winning a title post trade deadline? Both LA
East
teams.
or West first? Which one are we doing first?
Both LA teams and the Bucks. Take those teams out.
Take those teams
both
out.
LA teams and the Bucks we know are capable.
What I saw from Houston against LA the other night leads me to believe that they could beat the Lakers in a series. I'm not saying they would, but they could.
Could they beat the Clippers?
That's where it becomes very difficult because the Clippers can go small too. Like, the thing about the Clippers is, okay, you don't want to play with a center, fine. Montrezl Harrell's our center. Good luck, PJ.
Yeah.
Like, good luck, Rocco, on like, Kawhi's going to guard Harden, and Pat Bev's going to guard Russ.
And listen, that's probably where every time we've seen Paul George in the playoffs since the leg injury, it's been while his shoulder blew out 50 games into the season. You won't have that this year.
No.
He's going to have 40 games under his belt going into the playoffs, and he might just flip the switch and be Paul George for 2 months.
And by the way, I didn't mention that we're bringing Marcus Morris and Lou Williams off the bench. And Landry Shamet and whoever else. Like,
they are as close a thing to a super team as I think we have in the NBA.
Yeah, and we're not going to talk about it because, again, they're the Clippers. Like, that's what it is. So when I look at the West, those are my 3 teams probably that can win a title.
Rockets,
like, if
Clippers,
you want to say
Lakers.
Denver, I'm just not
Denver,
there.
I don't
like,
think they're.
I'm not
I don't
there.
think they're real.
Yeah, I'm not there with them. In the East, I don't know that anyone can beat Milwaukee. Like, that's
there's
the main
one team
thing for
that
me.
can, but it'll take a shitload of shooting luck.
And you know what? They got to get there to play them first.
Yep.
You're talking Philly, right?
No, I'm talking Boston.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Philly can anymore. I think Boston having Jason Tatum as their best player right now makes them a contender because Kemba and Gordon Hayward have to do so little. And
You're right
Jaylen
about
Brown
the
is so
shooting
good.
luck.
They will need shooting luck.
You're right about the shooting luck.
If they had gotten Bertans, I'd be much more confident in saying they could do it.
My thing is like when Philly goes big, Boston is not big.
I don't think they're going to. I don't think it'll matter.
That's a second round matchup probably, right?
Philly is so bad on the road.
Like
Philly has to make it out of the first round. If they
right,
get
but I'm saying that's like if it's Boston in the 2 and or 3.
Yeah.
Well, I guess because Toronto
and
would win.
if Philly's, it'd be a first round if Boston's in the 3 and Philly's in the
3.
6.
Boston's in the 2, right? Or did
Boston's in the 3?
Toronto's won 13.
Boston.
Straight?
This is how much of a bloodbath the Eastern
I think
Conference
Boston
is.
gets the 2 though because Philly's just on a crazy, or not Philly. Toronto's just on a
Toronto's
crazy
also
streak.
running an easy part of their schedule.
Exactly.
But Boston won 10 of 11 games and lost half a game on Toronto for the 2.
Because they won 13 in a row or whatever it is. Like, I still think Boston nabs the 2.
If they get the 2 and Philly has to play 4 games in Canada to start the playoffs, I don't know that Philly gets out of the first round.
Oh, if Philly has to play Toronto in the first round, I think it's probably over for them. Like I
mean, if they have to play Miami in the first round, I think it's over for them.
Yeah, with Andre now, like they got to get Jimmy back because I need to see Miami with Jimmy and Andre and like that lineup of Bam at the 5 with.
And it's also Philly has been so bad on the road. I can't put any stock into them to win 4 games. To win a 7-game series when 4 games are on the road, I can't do it.
I gotta say, I thought there'd be a bigger move than Alec Burks and Glenn Robinson III. I know they didn't have much to be able to do, and maybe they can get somebody on the buyout market, sure, whatever. Deion Waiters is a Philly native.
Who are they going to get on the buyout market that will make them demonstrably better?
No, like that, demonstrably nobody. Like nobody.
You look at Boston clearly needs a big. If they can find a big on the buyout market, they're better.
That's the easiest thing to find on the buyout market.
Correct. There's nothing easy for Philly to find on the buyout market that will make them better. The things that you will find, they already have, and it's not working.
Right.
And Al Horford being as bad as he has been for them, Tobias Harris being as bad as he has been for them on that contract, I don't think that they really can win 2 playoff series, maybe not 1.
The thing is, and I'm going to do this every time, Tobias Harris has not been bad. He's been exactly what he is.
He's just not $35 million good.
Like, exactly. Like, no one can look at Tobias Harris and be like, man, he sucks. He's not living up to it. Dude, you gave him that deal at 27, not 21. Yep. Like, that's who that guy is.
When you watch Tobias Harris play, you go, man, that's really good if you got him for $80 million.
Which is what he should have been valued. Like, you watch Tobias Harris say, like, man, he's A+ Aaron Gordon. If he only had Aaron Gordon's contract, like... He's got double what that guy makes.
Yeah, I think, and it's tough, but I think we've all, like last year we kept saying, Boston's so talented, they can go to the Eastern Conference Finals. They'll still go to the finals.
They just have to flip the switch.
Yeah.
It was the same thing.
It's literally the same thing we're saying about Philly.
Right?
I've seen this movie. It's not going to happen. Like when the locker room is as toxic and as bad as Philly's is, it's not going to happen.
And also, Boston had Brad Stevens. Like a
you
coach
got Brett Brown.
Yeah, like this is a coach who is way out of his gourd. Like Brett Brown is so like everything seems to just be going clear above his head. Like they're not even looking at him anymore. They're not listening to him. They're not whatever. It's like, what's Elton saying? And then can we figure it is more than clear that their best 2 players don't like each other.
Yeah.
Like it is.
Yeah.
It is. The only thing we're waiting on is Joel Embiid to finally just be like, yeah, he's a bitch. Like, just say something.
And I think if Ben gets traded in the offseason, that will happen.
Yeah. But I don't think Ben's the one getting traded.
I think he is.
I understand the idea that they could get more for him, but I just think like
that, and I think if I really think when push comes to shove, if one of them has to get moved, I think Elton Brand, for all his faults, is smart enough to go, we need Embiid more.
Here's the thing with me. If they lose in the first round, it's an institutional failure. It's not we couldn't figure it out on the court. It's everybody. I'm firing Elton Brand.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, I'm sorry, you just gave out $500
even if they
million
lose in the
contracts.
second round, he should be fired.
Over his tenure, he's given $500 million in contracts, and this is what I got, a first round exit. He's only been there 2 years. $500 million in 2 years?
And that's honestly, it's an institutional failure all the way to ownership because you stabbed Sam Hinkie in the back and then hired Elton Brand.
No, but remember there was a period in the middle of Brian Colangelo deciding he was going to go on Twitter and be a moron.
Correct. And I think at some level, what happened to Sam Hinkie wasn't so much a betrayal as it was, look, the process has been going on for 5 years and we've seen nothing.
Yeah, nothing. You just keep drafting big dudes.
Like, that's where people go, of course the process works. We got 2 superstars. I go,
you drafted 4.
Yeah, like you really just nabbed the best available player at the top of the draft because you sucked every year. Like it wasn't a process. It was just, hey, let's get the best
Sam
guy.
Hinkie, like, you know what? No, Drew Holiday, he's too old. Well, it's 7 years later and he's still really good. Lou Williams, nah, he's too old. Well, it's 7 years later and he's still really good. Like all these players.
It's what we did last week with the former Philly guys beat the current Sixers lineup. Yeah, that's why when we relitigate, and this has happened on Twitter this week, which is why I'm thinking about it, when we go, did the process actually work? And then Philly Sixers fans and Philly media get all defensive and go, of course it fucking worked. No, it really didn't.
No, the process netted you a bunch of shit that the next guy could come in and flip.
Never got past the second round of the playoffs.
Exactly.
It didn't work.
Did they make the playoffs on the process? Like,
no.
Not until Colangelo got there did they make the playoffs.
And then they made it. They got bounced in the second round by a Boston team that didn't have their 2 best players. They got bounced in the second round, admittedly, by a lucky bounce from Kawhi. And now you're looking at a team with $500 million and 4 players getting bounced maybe in the first round.
That team before the process, or not before the process, but the team that got bounced by Boston, that was the best team they had. Like the team that Simmons' quote unquote rookie year, like they sneak up. They get the 3 seed. They finished in front of LeBron in the East.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like everybody was like, Philly could go to the finals. They're positioned to be the team that beats LeBron.
Well,
they got smacked by Boston.
They had a young Korkmaz. They had TJ McConnell. They had JJ Redick.
And you know what they did? They made phenomenal moves at the deadline. They got Bellinelli and they got Ilyasova, and those dudes were playing with Redick, and they could shoot the lights out. And the only thing that happened is they went cold and they couldn't score against Boston. And Boston put the clamps on them.
And this was maybe Brett Brown's biggest mistake was in the final 5 minutes of close games in that series, he kept putting Ben Simmons back on the floor when TJ McConnell was the better fit in the series.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's going to happen again. Like, it's not going to happen again because he makes $180 million. Now they're not going to pull him off the floor. But if you are Ben Simmons, like, we see what happens to Giannis in the playoffs when they pack the paint. Yep. And Giannis will at least shoot threes. The other night when he airballed those 2 threes in a row, I was like, damn, yeah, he's not there yet. But Ben Simmons is, and you use this a lot, and I'm going to steal from you, he's a coward. Like,
oh, yeah.
You have to try to shoot.
Well, and the other thing is, like, I've been attacked for saying this. I don't think that he's playable in the final 5 minutes of a playoff game as currently constructed.
It sucks because defensively he may be one of the most versatile players in the NBA. Like, he is one of the most versatile defenders there is.
Defensively, you need him.
Yeah,
like, if
he can literally switch 1 through 5.
If you're in the final minute of a 3-point game and you have 2 timeouts, use him to put him on the floor defensively.
Like, he's a top 5 DPOY vote this year.
Yeah, and that's where you do need him. But when you get in half-court offense with 2 minutes left in a 3-point game in a playoff series, you can't have him on the floor. He can't shoot. He doesn't space. If he gets fouled, he's bad at the line. He can't play.
It allows the other team's best wing, 6'10", 6'9", whatever defender to just go rover. Like, you can't let Jimmy Butler play Ed Reed. You can't let whoever, Siakam play Ed Reed. You can't let Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, whoever it is, play Ed Reed because they don't have to worry about Simmons. They can go rover and help everything. Marcus Smart, whoever it is they put on him.
Speaking of potential DPOY finalists, both Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart are playing defense out of their minds.
You cannot let somebody just fall off Ben Simmons and be able to...
This is the terrifying thing, too, is in a series against Boston, in half-court offenses, there's potential that Brad Stevens hides Kemba on Ben Simmons and
easily
just runs help defense. Mm-hmm. Hey, Ben Simmons drives, JB or Jason slide over.
They don't have to. Like, what are they going to need to? Are they going to put Embiid on the arc? They're already going to be down there.
Well, the only fear if you hide Kemba on Simmons is Kemba gets his lunch eaten on any drive. Just Simmons will put him in a coffin on any drive.
You ask him to take a charge, it's going to hurt a lot. But Kemba Walker's a tough guy. The thing for me is you can put Kemba on him and say you plant your heels at the free throw line extended, and if he gets past you, he gets past you and will help. But you do not come up.
Yeah.
And you go to any pass. Kemba's quick enough, too, that if he tries to do the Draymond thing where he's the screener and just a handoff and there's nobody there, Kemba can recover. Like, Kemba can at least take away the drive. They might give up some threes, but who are the shooters that Philly's getting these threes with?
And the other thing is, God forbid, you switch Simmons onto Marcus Smart and Smart tries that Draymond handoff shit. Yeah. Smart will literally steal it.
Yeah. And again, Draymond is...
That's, like, if 4 of those games are being played in TD Garden, Philly's not winning that series.
And the thing we always talk about with he could do the Draymond and the handoff, Draymond is handing off to Stephen Clay.
Yeah.
It's a lot more dangerous because of who he's handing off to. When you're turning and handing off to, I don't know, Josh Richardson and or Mike Scott or Alec Burks, I'm far less afraid. I don't feel like I need to fly out with a hand up. I can sit there on the drive and play the pick and roll. And, like, yeah, I don't get it at all what they're going to be able to do. Like we said, what do we say when they did this in July? Yeah, man, they're going to be a nightmare on defense, but I'm not sure how the offense fits. Well, it's February. Guess what we're saying? They're a nightmare on defense, and I'm not sure how the offense fits. And they're the 6th seed in the East. So I think we might have been right. And it's not like we're the only ones saying it, but holy cow. I don't know how you look at the first sample through Christmas and think that the first of the year you don't have to change. And now you're a month removed from that, and you didn't change. Like, you added Alec Burks and Glenn Robinson. You didn't fundamentally do anything. So if I had to pick a team in the top 6 in the East that I am certain is not going to make the conference finals, it's Philly.
Yeah.
Like, because they're not, like, they literally, they should tank for the 8. Like, their best matchup is Milwaukee. Like, and they got beat by them the other night. But, like, that's their best matchup. That's the funny thing is, like, who do you match up best with in a first-round series of the teams in front of you? It's Milwaukee. Like, they don't match up with Boston. They don't match up with Toronto. They don't even match up with Indiana. They somewhat match up with Indiana.
Well,
but they'd have to get the 5.
Yeah, that's not happening. I mean, how many games back are they of the 5 now?
Like, no, but I'm saying Indiana's the 5, so you'd have to get up to the 4 and move Indiana. Like, the way you would play Indiana is not going to happen, right? Like, there's no feasible route for you to play Indiana.
The Sixers are the 5 right now.
Are they?
Yeah, the Pacers are the 6, 2.5 games back, or a half game and a half back.
Oh, yeah, you know what? The Pacers
So,
have been, yeah.
As it stands,
They get the Heat.
Sixers would play the Heat in the first round.
That's a tough matchup.
They aren't winning that series.
No, dude, we just saw what happened in South Beach the other night. They lost by 30.
They were in a suite with Shaq telling him, get your shit together, and they went and got blown out at American Airlines the night after.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like the Heat
And
weren't at the
Jimmy
Super Bowl.
Butler hooked them.
That was my thing, too. It's like, everybody's like, oh, they went to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. Did you think that the Heat didn't go to the Super Bowl? Like, I saw pictures of Heat players at the Super Bowl. They were there, too. Like,
It's really just unbelievable because I made all the jokes about it and how the Sixers were a lock to win the title. The same thing we did with the Celtics a year ago, I did with the Sixers intentionally because I wanted this to happen. It's insane how much the similarities are between this year's Sixers and last year's Celtics.
I'm saying, though, like, those who don't study history, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I saw the other day when the tweet came out, Josh Richardson held a players-only meeting to galvanize the team. I read that and I go, that is a 2018-19 headline directly. Marcus Morris holds players-only meeting to galvanize the team.
But at least Marcus Morris is known as that guy. At least Marcus Morris wasn't their cheapest starter. Like, you look at the Sixers, who's leading the players-only meeting? The starter who makes the least amount of money.
You know what? And this is where we're going to end the show. I've done a lot of defending Al Horford in my life, but this motherfucker this year, it's an embarrassment. Stop getting in the media and being blatant about how much you wish you hadn't left Boston. You signed that contract. You don't get to get all sad and mopey. You need to get in front of a mic and lead that fucking team.
Throw him in to the Bradley Beal, Kevin Love. I have no sympathy for you. You signed on the line.
Exactly.
Throw him into that.
You want me to feel bad that you left a good situation in Boston? You want to do an interview where you go, Brad Stevens looks like he's figured it out. I'm really happy for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They're looking great this year. You don't get to weep and cry that you're not on the Celtics anymore. You went to Philly. Lead the team you're on.
Andy said, yeah, we have some problems in our locker room, but we're going to keep it in-house. Well, you didn't. You just said you have problems. That's not keeping it in-house. Don't say you have problems.
It's also not leadership. And, like, that's when you are Al Horford, when you're the 33-year-old veteran player, be the veteran presence in the locker room. Don't be the mopey loser that's sad you didn't stay with the team you were on because they're better than you. Like, just accept that you're on this team and lead this team.
And making $26 million.
You know what? It's the same problem I had with him last year because as willing as everybody was, Kyrie was always able to come out and go, hey, Jaylen Brown's a fucking pussy. And he would, in so many words, say that. And it clearly affected Jaylen Brown because he came out and said, I was in a mentally bad place and I'm happy again.
Yeah.
Al Horford never stepped up for that team either.
Ever.
You have to be a leader at some point, and he just isn't.
And it goes back to the throw him in with the Beal and the Love thing. Like, over the deadline when people are like, oh, I feel so sorry for Kevin Love. Shut up!
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You feel sorry for Kevin Love?
I don't feel sorry for him.
He signed that deal. Like,
he's got more money than God.
Exactly. It's like, you could pay me $30 million a year. I'll live in Cleveland. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll play for a shitty coach. Like, fine.
I'll play with the sex man, bro. I don't care.
Give a shit. Like, you're 30 plus years old. You're not that good of an NBA player in a relative sense now, and you make $30 million. What the hell are you upset about?
He's in the first year of a 5-year max contract, and he's whining.
I'm sorry. Where are you going where all of a sudden you're the missing piece that's a championship? Act like you could go anywhere to be something. You're Kevin Love. You got your ring. You sacrificed making All-Star teams.
I'll tell you, the way Dame is playing right now, they might love to have have him.
Yeah, but he's not better than Melo.
No.
Like
no.
What are you talking about? And Melo makes $1 million.
And he's just pouty, and I don't believe
Exactly.
that a change of location is going to make him less pouty.
Exactly, and I get like you can feel a little bad for him because now they brought in Andre Drummond, but don't feel bad for him. Feel bad for Tristan Thompson, who is the least amount of person anyone should ever feel bad for because he's a scumbag. But that's the dude. You want to feel bad for someone in Cleveland? Feel bad for Tristan Thompson because they're going to try to buy him out, and he shouldn't take a buyout. I know, like, everybody in Boston would love for him to take a buyout, and everybody anywhere who needs a center would love for him to take a buyout, but they're fucking him. If they traded him, he gets to keep his bird rights and sign for more. They give him a buyout, he doesn't get his bird rights anymore. So, no, you shouldn't take the buyout, Tristan.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Sit there and not play. Let them play Andre Drummond. They traded for a center just to show, hey, we're going to buy you out. And Rich Paul should be like, nope, Kobe Altman, decline. Like, you're not getting a buyout, Tristan. Enjoy the rest of the year. You're chilling in Cleveland. You're not playing. You're not taking a buyout. That's the dude to feel sorry for in Cleveland, not Kevin motherfucking Love. Like, enjoy your model girlfriend and your $30 million, dude. It sucks that you're in Cleveland.
I didn't know we were
got
going
it
to
made.
have Al Horford and Kevin Love catch ricochet shots at the end of this podcast. But, hey, that's the kind of Monday it is.
Yeah.
February, am I right?
Jesus.
All right, we'll see you next week.
See ya.